guys! So today I'm going to be reading the final part of the viral scary story that we've been reading of I think the hospital I work for is experimenting on patients. This is the final part, so let's get started. I froze. I ran over to the bed and grabbed all the files. I lifted up the mattress and pushed them under. I closed my browser and turned off my computer. Knock, knock. Who is it? No reply. I walked slowly over to the door and peered out of the peephole. It was the receptionist. I opened the door. Yes? Can I help you? I asked. I'm sorry to bother you. The police are out front. I told them you weren't here, but they said they see your car and, I don't know what kind of trouble you are in, but you need to get out of here. You seem like a nice lady, and thank you so much. I slammed the door in his face, not intentionally. I appreciated him. I just had no time to waste. I grabbed up all my stuff and threw it into my bags. I got my dog and I hauled ass. I went through the back exit of the hotel. Although it was a longer walk to my car, I at least could see from a distance if they were out there waiting. I didn't see anyone, so I booked it. As fast as I could, I ran. I got to the car and started it up while I locked the doors. I hit the gas, but I didn't go anywhere. I mashed it again. Nothing. What the hell? I got out to check the tires and I noticed the right tire had a boot on it. Holy crap, I said. And then everything went black. My vision didn't come to me immediately. My hearing was there, though. You know, your hearing is the last to go. I talk to all my life support patients or those in comas. They can still hear you. Maybe not everything, but I like to think they got some comfort from it. Slipping and a sliding all along the waterfall with you. My brown-eyed girl, you, my brown-eyed girl. I no longer had good memories associated with this song. My adrenaline kicked in, my eyes opened, and I realized my worst nightmare had come true. They got me. I was restrained to a gurney. I immediately started to pull and flail, but being that I was on a gurney, I quickly realized that I couldn't shake too much or I'd flip over. What the hell? I yelled. Let me go. Who the hell are you? What do you want? I continued. Dr. Cates walked in the room, holding a clipboard. I see you're up, he said in a cheerful tone. I knew Dr. Cates. He frequented the ICU patients. I had always thought he was so charming. Why are you doing this to me? I asked in a pitiful voice while tears streamed down my face. Well, Cassie, you went snooping and stuck your nose where it didn't belong, now didn't you? He said matter-of-factly as he wrote something down. You are involved in this too? What kind of sick people are you? I sneered. He put the pen down on the clipboard and focused his gaze on me. You see, Cassie, this is a very lucrative business we run up here. It's been going on for almost 50 years now. You are safe. We have a strict no employee policy. Well, until they go poking their heads where they don't belong. And that, my dear, is exactly what you and Sheena did. You killed her. I knew you killed her. They tried to make me feel crazy, like she didn't even exist. Why her? You could have just taken me. Why her? I wailed. That night, you guys came up here together. We had a new admission. He was referring to bringing someone up here on the third floor. And we happened to hear all your commotion. My colleague stepped out of a room to see who was up here, and that's when he saw Sheena. She was yelling Diabolo. She saw the evilness in you that I wasn't able to. He laughed. Actually, what she saw, I would imagine, was really scary. My colleague and I were performing a lobotomy on a patient, but the procedure went wrong. I guess my colleague hadn't properly restrained him because he fought us, and in the struggle, my colleague went through the angular artery. A big to-do, really. Blood everywhere. He got pretty saturated with it. When he ran out to check on the noise, he was covered in the red mess. In the dark, I'm sure it looked like the devil. He laughed again, like it wasn't as big of a deal as it really was. I kept quiet for a while. I didn't even know what to say. I think shock had kicked in and my brain was just focusing on how to get out of the situation. Well then, I'm sure you know what goes on up here then. A variety of things, really. Some patients we use new drugs on or take them off their current medications just to see what happens. Some patients we try new procedures on. Others we use old procedures on. He put his finger up to his forehead, referring to the lobotomy. Sometimes we just want to see what others will do when pushed to the point of survival. It's a fascinating business, really. You are disgusting. You and whoever else is involved. Those people didn't deserve that. Those people are helping us make medical breakthroughs every day, Cassie. It's a necessity to have test subjects. You can only learn so much from testing on animals. Human subjects, though, they have been teaching us since the beginning of time, really. This place will be shut down. Eventually, someone will find out the atrocities that take place in here. You guys can't get away with this forever, I screamed at him. Cassie, we have many procedures set in place to make sure that doesn't happen. That's why you're here. He smiled at me. And you're mistaken if you think this is the only location this happens at, my dear. This is a worldwide business. What do you think we discuss at all the conferences we have? He laughed again. Anyways, I'm going to go get the nurse to grab some chlorhexidine and get you ready for your procedure, he said as he walked out of the room. Crap. I had to get out of here. I had a janky hairpin in my ponytail. It was a far stretch, but it's all I had. I bent my body sideways as best as I could, and my neck immediately started cramping from the angle I had it. The first couple of times, I barely touched it. Man, how we take our thumbs for granted. Finally, I got my thumb positioned right and grabbed it. It was one of those cheap metal hairpins where the wax ball had worn off, leaving a sharp metal end. And to think I almost threw it away this morning. I started to stab the fabric on the restraint over and over again. I actually had a small hole started, and then, to my complete horror, I dropped it. I started to cry. This was it. I was going to die, and no one was going to know what happened to me. The nurse walked in with all the supplies and laid them on the Mayo stand next to me. I knew her too. Not well, but I knew her. I had her for Secret Santa one year. I had gotten her a Bath and Body Works candle and a Starbucks gift card. I didn't know if we were supposed to tell them later that it was from us or not, but I did, one day in the elevator. She told me it was the best Secret Santa gift she'd received in the 6 years she was here. She realized it was me and gasped. Oh, Cassie, you're involved too? I asked in a cracking voice as tears started to fall down my cheeks into my ears. I didn't want to be. They made me. I'm so sorry, Cassie, she said as tears filled her eyes. I've never assisted with a patient that was someone I knew. Usually, they just get them off the streets, junkies or runaways. I've never had to do this on an employee, she said with sadness in her voice. Please, Steph, please, I pleaded, crying so hard I could barely see. She looked around, then back to me. They'll kill me. They'll kill my family. They'll kill you. I can't, Cassie. I closed my eyes and sobbed hard, the kind that takes the breath right out of you. There were so many things I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to travel, settle down, have a big wedding, start a family, so many things. But I was about to die, a week before my 24th birthday. With my eyes still closed, I felt a tug on my arm. Steph was untying don't understand, I asked. As much as I wanted to live, I didn't feel right that she had to sacrifice her life or her loved ones just so I could. I understood her predicament, and I didn't hate her for it, but she was helping me with everything at stake. I'm going to cause a distraction. You run like hell. She took the last one off my foot and I hopped off the gurney. I hugged her hard and breathed her in. I finally released her and started towards the door. She grabbed my arm and pulled me back. She placed her badge in my hand and closed my fingers around it. Go. I ran like I never had before. I didn't have time to wait on the elevator. It was too risky. I ran straight for the stairwell. I swiped her card and it opened. I ran downstairs so fast I skipped some each time. I got outside to the parking lot and remembered I didn't have a car. I didn't even know where mine was. I ran across the street to the dollar store and I called a cab. I got into the cab and it took me back to my house. I grabbed the spare key from under my flower pot and ran in to pack my things. I grabbed a secret money stash I had hidden in a floorboard and my gun. I jumped back in the cab and told him to just drive. I placed $200 on the console. Consider this a deposit, I said, and his expression changed from "Are you crazy?" to "Yes, ma'am." I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who I can trust. I don't think I'm going to make it. I'll be found and they will kill me. Slowly. So before I go, I just wanted to thank you for letting me tell my story. I needed someone to believe me. Even if I can't change any of this, I can at least warn you. And please, whatever you do, stay away from hospitals. Okay, you guys, so that is the ending of this series. I'm going to start another Reddit story soon, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit the like button and subscribe down below and leave a comment, and yep, see you guys next time. Bye!